And welcome back to the Blue and Gold Report. We continue our discussion with Mike Wilder, senior on the men's basketball team. Mike, we're going to take a few minutes to get to know you away from the court.
Okay.
I talked with one of your friends, and I'm told you're the luckiest human being in the world. Do you agree with that?
I don't know if I'd quite go that far.
That everything goes your way.
Yeah, that's kind of the mantra that I have on our team. You know,
Okay.
it's whether it be on the court, off the court. My teammates always make poke fun and just say like of course Wilder would do this, or of course this would happen for Wilder. So I mean, it's all in good fun.
One example that was given to me was that Mike can have a final at 9 a.m. and he'll wake up at 9 a.m. to an email saying that the final has been rescheduled. Did that happen to you?
There's been there was an instance where it wasn't a final, but it was a pretty important test, one of my midterms.
Okay.
And I just I'm a pretty heavy sleeper, and so normally I set multiple alarms so that I can wake up, and for some reason on this morning
They all failed.
I completely, I wake up and it's like, half of the time is gone that I have to take my final. I'm scrambling, I'm rushing, and then I see an email saying, I professor wasn't able to make it today. Midterm will be, and for some, I don't know why, normally TAs will teaching assistants will run the midterms, and
Okay.
the teachers won't even show up at all, but for whatever reason, I'm not quite sure why, and at the time I didn't care why.
You were just happy.
Yeah, I was just happy that I was still able to make the test.
Do you feel you make your own luck? Are you a believer in you make your own luck?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's some of the decisions I've made, some of the opportunities that I've taken,
Mm-hmm.
I think factor into that.
I was also told that your teammates say they're going to shun you because everything goes your way and they're just tired of it.
Well, yeah. I'm sorry I laugh because it's just thinking about how much they say it, and
But it never happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course it
Yeah.
never happens. It'll happen for a couple minutes maybe, and everybody will laugh about it, and it's like I said before, it's just all in good fun.
Now, I was also told that you are not that handy in the kitchen, but you do make two dishes. You make mac and cheese, and you make a package of hot dogs.
Yeah, those are my go-tos. I mean, if I buy, I mean, I can cook some things.
Okay.
A lot of the times, I'm no chef, but
Right.
I can make meals for myself when need be, and
Okay.
a lot of times it's just, either I buy swipes at Commons, so I buy a meal plan,
Okay.
so no need to cook, or I just kind of get lazy and that's the easiest thing in the world, to put some pasta in some boiling water, or some hot dogs in some boiling water, and just wait a couple minutes.
So, that's pretty funny. So, have you ever hosted a team dinner for your teammates?
I have not, no. I mean,
Would it be mac and cheese and hot dogs? If you did?
I mean, maybe as a joke, I might go a little farther. Maybe make some chicken.
Okay.
I mean, I can do.
A couple things.
Yeah, I can do some lemon pepper chicken, some things like that. But like I said, most of the time it's just I'm get home from practice, long day,
Right.
and I don't want to cook.
You just do, yeah. I hear you. I'm told you have a tradition, and every Sunday morning at 1 a.m. you'll go to Krispy Kreme and get 2 dozen donuts. Are you still doing that?
Well, actually,
And on top of that, you have to go to Orange,
Yeah.
and you make your teammate drive home so that you can sit and eat all the donuts.
That's only happens sometimes.
Okay.
It depends on if I have my car or not.
Okay.
It actually all started. I mean, I have a really big sweet tooth, and I love donuts. Or donuts and chocolate chip cookies are probably my favorite. Those are my two favorite, I guess, desserts, if you will. And it all started over the summer. I kind of changed my diet a little bit,
Okay.
and so where I had Sundays were like kind of my cheat days.
Right, because you were on paleo.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so every Sunday, I'd wait for midnight, because midnight starts Sunday.
Right.
And so, and every week I craved donuts. I mean, I craved everything I had stopped eating,
Okay.
and donuts and cookies were the two main things. And so I would drive, extend an offer to anybody that wanted, teammates, other friends that wanted to come along.
All right.
And so every week I'd have a different group of people come with me to Krispy Kreme. And, I only got 2 dozen once. That was
Okay.
that was when I was feeling, I ate
Particularly sweet toothy.
Yeah, I mean, I ate 1 dozen on the way home and then just saved the other box for the next day. But, yeah, that turned into a fun tradition.
So those are your Achilles heels then.
Yeah.
Krispy Kreme donuts and chocolate chip cookies. Those aren't too bad. We're going to talk briefly, I said we were going to take it off the court, but we're going to talk briefly about your season in particular, because you did struggle from the 3-point line early in the season. But I was told that a kid from camp went to Japan and brought back a good luck charm.
Yes.
At that point, was that when your shooting started turning around?
I think so. I mean, he asked me, he told me during camp over the summer that he was going.
Okay.
And, I told him he didn't have to get me anything. He actually got it for something for me, something for Derek.
Okay.
But, we told him, no, it's okay, you don't have to. But he ended up bringing something back for us anyway, him and his mom.
Okay.
And, I actually keep the good luck charm on my backpack.
That's
it's
what I was
orange.
told.
Yeah, it's a little orange good luck charm. I keep it on my backpack and also keep the keychain that he got on my keys.
Okay.
And I think it may have a little something to do with it. But at the same time,
you just kept plugging away.
yeah,
really,
and coaches kept working with me. Everybody, teammates, just kept having the belief in me. They knew. They knew.
They knew you could shoot.
Yeah,
and it was a matter of time.
Yeah, they kept encouraging me every day, and so that's what helped me get back on track.
Now, I asked if during, you've had a long and very successful career at UC Irvine playing basketball. I asked if there was a guy in the Big West that you got amped about playing against. And I was told to mention the name Irvine Chin. Tell us,
man.
and he played at Fullerton. He graduated, but tell us about Irvine Chin.
That Irvine Chin. Oh man, that's funny. There was something about him when Derek and I first got here. We ended up playing. We played Fullerton, and there was just something about him, and it was, he was a pretty good player. He was about 6'7", long. Played 3 and 4.
Right.
And had a decent, could shoot the 3 decently. Could take you inside, and the whole joke was, man, we can't beat him. Can't beat Irvine Chin. And so it was funny. Last year at the Big West tournament, we played Fullerton. We ended up beating him. We celebrated in the locker room. I look at Derek and I go, "We got him." And he goes, "Yeah, we finally beat him." And it was just kind of a little inside joke that we had ever since we got here.
A lot of love for Irvine Chin.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, of course.
But what's really funny is that you really can't escape him because he's in the Big West Dream Big video.
Yeah, and we look up and they play it before every game, every one of our home games, and we've seen it on the road too. But we look up every time and we're like, we can't lose him. We can't.
I'm told you're a big Laker fan.
Yes.
And you and Chris Mack go at it because he's a Golden State fan.
Uh-huh.
And now, I don't know who said this, but I think it's Chris Mack texted you or called you and would say, "Your bum team just lost." Is that right? Or were you?
No.
Or is it going the other way?
Well, I think I was the one that started the text. But yeah, Chris is a huge Golden State fan, and we have a few Laker fans on our team, and anytime there's a Golden State game on, or anytime there's a Laker game on, we're all glued to the TV.
Okay.
And most recently, I think the Lakers played against the Raptors at the same day that Golden State played the Rockets.
Okay.
And so we had, we were on the road, and we had one game on the TV, Golden State, and we had the Laker game on the laptop, and we're going back and forth. And, the Golden State ends up losing. The Lakers end up winning, and we just run to Chris, and we just start, poking fun and stuff like that, and that's, little things like that is just, I think, that's what makes our team us. We can joke about basically anything, and we do pretty much everything together, and little things like this is what brings us even closer.
Well, I'm a Laker fan, so I'm gonna need to get Chris Mack's number from you so I can jump in on that. You know, since you watch a lot of NBA, what has been your take of the Lakers this year? Is it chemistry? Is it? I mean, on paper they're great.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to.
Is it not Phil Jackson? Is it Phil Jackson not being there?
I think it's just hard to put a team together like that so quickly,
right?
And expect them to
win,
to mesh and to win right away.
Okay.
You know, we saw it with the Miami Heat their first year. I mean, they did make it to the finals, but you know they had a couple growing pains, and now you know after a year, you know they come back the next year and they win the NBA title. You know it's hard to root against them this year.
Right.
You know, as well as they're playing. You know, they're on the 18-game win streak or something like that. But I think you're kind of starting to see the Lakers, come together now, and especially with these couple huge wins, you know, the last couple of days, and you know, I mean, we've been like talking a lot of trash to Chris, saying, oh, we're gonna, you know, Chris is like, oh, the Lakers aren't gonna make the playoffs, like you guys aren't even there, we're in the 6th spot, this and that, and so. You know, me as a Laker fan, I'm just pushing, hoping they make the playoffs, just so I can say something to Chris.
That'll be fun. I hope they do make the playoffs. It should be a fun ride for them. You're in a fraternity. What was the decision to join a fraternity? Because it does take a lot of your time, and you have that. You've been working, playing basketball, and you're getting your degree. You know, how did that all fit in for you?
It's interesting because I never had any desire to join a fraternity when I first got here. Fraternities were really something I had little information about, other than some of the movies that kind of portrayed as, you know, nothing but party and drinking, stuff like that. And actually, 2 of my teammates at the time, Derek Flowers, Brandon Scott, were the ones that convinced me to do it.
Okay.
And because they were friends with a couple of the people that were going, you know, through the process at the time.
Okay, they were rushing.
Yeah, and you know, they met basically everybody in the fraternity at the time, and they saw how cool it was, and they came to me saying, like, you know, wow, they're like, we wanted to, like, do this, like, we want you to do this with us.
Okay.
You know, we think it'd be really cool if us 3 went through this together, just because we came in together.
Right.
And you know, at first I was just like, I don't know, like, you know, it just didn't seem like the
like
thing
you.
for me. Yeah,
right.
It didn't, and you know, I met a couple of the guys that they were friends with. You know, ended up meeting the president at the time, and you know, all of those guys, they were just so genuine. You know, they I think a lot of the fraternities on campus have larger numbers.
Okay.
You know, upwards into like the 80s and 90s, and you know, our fraternity sits at around 50.
Okay. Which fraternity are you in?
Sigma Alpha Epsilon.
Okay.
You know, it sits around 50 here, and everybody knows everybody, and everybody's, you know, so friendly, and you know, it was way more than, you know, what I saw portrayed through the media. Okay. And, you know, it just gave me another sense of, you know, like a family, like a brotherhood. Okay. And, you know, I value family a lot. You know, my family back home, you know, my basketball family. And, you know, my brothers, the Sigma Alpha Epsilon, are just another family for me that I found here.
Now, are we going to see a bunch of your SAE brothers at the Honda Center?
Oh yeah,
okay.
Oh yeah. They
I'm calling you out.
Yeah.
SAE, you better be there.
Oh yeah, they show up to every game. You know.
And they are the ones that started the Wilderwoods, I think. Were they, or was that another group?
That was a different group actually. Okay. My sophomore year. You know, I know a couple of the guys that were part of that start, but okay. They're at, you know. They've been at every game. You know, my Pledge brothers have been at every game, just yelling, heckling the other team, cheering for us, getting the crowd into it and stuff like that. So, you know, they're gonna show out this Thursday and hopefully the other 2 days too.
What was your first initial reaction when they came out with the Wilder Wigs as your sophomore year? Oh,
I didn't know what to think. I mean, I was just like, you know, it's an hour before the game. I'm going through my stretching and all I hear is loud cheering coming from the student entrance. And I heard my name and I look and just 15 people with these huge afros, and I'm just like, oh my, what is this? You know, I never had anything like that happen before, you know, to me.
Right.
And it's funny because my teammates just kind of looked at me like, kind of like the whole
more love for Mike.
Yeah, basically.
Now, was there any pressure on you to keep the afro after that? Did you ever think, I want to cut it, but I really can't because now all these guys have these Wilder wigs on?
I never really had any plans or desires to get rid of it.
Okay.
You know, up to that point. And so, you know, I mean, there may have been once they did, but I didn't really take that into account just because it wasn't, you know, something I was thinking about doing.
Well, a lot of basketball to be played. I really think that it'll extend past this week.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mike, I want to wish you the best of luck this
Thank
Thursday
you.
against Hawaii.
Thank you so much.
That was Mike Wilder, men's basketball team on the Blue and Gold Report. We'll be right back with women's basketball player Jennifer Tsunemoto on KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine.